The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. For the best in below-the-waist grooming, visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off. That is manscaped.com. You know, Rachel's like, you guys can come in here. There's nobody in here. And Justin and I were like, no, we're going to stay away from the ladies' locker room. Like, we can't be going in there. So, you know, we checked out the men's locker room and there's a TV in there. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I'm like, what are you guys watching?
Yeah.
Like Infinity War, Endgame? What's going on? So we come out and we're comparing locker rooms. And I said, did you guys have a TV in yours? And they're like, no. And Abby's very concerned about like changing in front of other people. I'm like, it's really not a big deal. I mean, like, you know, you just change in front of other people. And then in the girls' locker room, they have pillow fights. Rachel stops and looks at me. Glasses come down. And she goes, what the hell is wrong with you? And then I stayed a little quiet the rest of the time.
Why would you say that?
I thought it was funny.
For who, Scott?
Clearly no one.
No one. You. Just you.
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studios. It's time for the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. The good, the bad, and the funny.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
That's right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. Now, if you'd like to connect with us on all of our social media, all of our links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise and join our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits, and you can watch all of these recordings as they happen live. You can watch our cutting room floor material, all of our celebrity interviews that we do. You can see those things live. If you listen to us on Apple or Spotify or anywhere that you listen to us, and you have the ability to leave a review, please give us a 5-star rating and review. We absolutely love that stuff. My name is Scott. I'm the host. With me, my co-host, the queen of examinations, Mary. Everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sarah.
Hello.
Our producer, Alex.
It's me, the guy who edits the podcast.
And the biggest whiny scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
If you build it, he will come.
Well, Field of Dreams, but it can't be that simple.
It's actually a note that was left on the sex sling that I ordered on Amazon when it came in the mail.
I was going to say Godzilla or King Kong, if you know what I mean. I think King Dong maybe is what they call it.
Chris, we missed you last week, and I'm sorry that you're all depressed and all that, but you can go F yourself.
Oh, thank you.
He said, oh, thank you.
Because I had COVID last week.
Wow.
And nobody cared about me having COVID. It was all about, oh, Chris and his Achilles and this and that, and he's hurting and he can't walk and he's so upset. Blah,
Well,
blah,
Scott,
blah.
you were
I
the
can
first
attest
one to
that.
say that COVID isn't real, so...
Yeah, I also didn't care you had COVID either.
Nobody cared.
You sent me this like prehistoric test that I guess they only sell in Florida. I've never seen those COVID tests before. They must be like the Aldi tests or something.
Well, the first one I took was expired. It was, I
have no idea what that was.
Oh, yeah, it's the great value. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, you sent me that. I was like, you definitely don't have COVID. Like, that probably says you have COVID every time you take it.
Chris.
That's why we stopped testing in Florida. There was there's too many positives, so we had to stop.
Yeah, now I understand why Trump was like, stop testing, because if you stop testing, the results will stop being positive and then the numbers will go down. It's because they were taking tests like the ones you sent me. It looked like you made the test at home.
Chris, is that you have a Flintstone foot? I see it in the corner of the screen right there. What is that?
Listen,
I haven't showered in days. I'm not allowed to.
You have Frodo feet. Let me see it.
See, again, we're back to Chris's ankle.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
We're back to Chris's ankle. See what happens? So, Chris,
is that the injured one?
Oh my God!
I'm sorry.
Talking about his goddamn Achilles. That's in segment 2. Jesus Christ!
We don't plan our segments. What are you talking about?
So, Chris, here's the thing. Yes, it is a less expensive or an inexpensive test, and this is how the rich stay rich. We buy generic stuff,
and we don't pay the people who work for us, right?
And we don't pay the people who work for us.
You get those welfare free test kits to your house. I guess you would stay rich. I have to buy them. I don't get them for free. I don't get handouts up here, Scott.
Wow.
I'm serious though. If you saw the picture Scott sent me, you wouldn't have felt bad because it looks like a homemade kit. I've never seen that in my life.
It was more of a flimsy thing, but then I got this one too. The hard plastic
I recognize
one.
that one. Yeah, please put a little plastic on it. Yours is like Q-tips and cotton.
I didn't see the initial one. He doesn't care about me enough to send me that.
It was in the group text, Mary.
Oh, I didn't look at it.
Once in a while,
maybe I didn't see it. Let me look at it now.
I think it really just comes down to no one cared about it.
Exactly.
Nobody
cared.
What happened?
Nobody cared. So it is the first day of school this week.
That's weird. That's not until like a while for us.
Yeah, up north it's like Labor Day.
After Labor Day.
Yeah, here in Florida it's early August, which doesn't make any sense. I feel like they should push it into September because of hurricane season. Because we always
they don't want you getting heat stroke.
Well, they get heat stroke in August.
Yeah, but you're inside in the air. What, do you not have air down there?
Oh,
like with your prehistoric COVID test, you don't have air down there either?
It's just me coming in now. Scott, it looks like you peed on an ovulation test.
Right?
What is that? What did you just say?
Thank you.
That's why I didn't even look at it, because it doesn't look real. I don't even see a line on it. You fake it.
It has no resemblance to a COVID test. Like if you didn't tell me you had COVID, I would have no idea what you sent me. I think you were making a splint or
so
something.
your pool is the right pH? What did you just send me?
Oh, congrats, you got a pool, Scott.
Great, congratulations.
Listen, I sent you the wrong picture because that's the one with the very faint line. And Rachel's like, you better call your boss because I don't think you're going to work. And then I retested the next day and it was like a solid double line.
I bet. Sure. Yeah.
But it was funny as Abby started to have the sniffles and all that. But she was here all week. Rachel never got it. Abby never got it. But like,
wow,
I looked like Chris. I looked like I was going to a Joe Biden rally. I'm wearing a mask all around my house. It was insane. But she started to have the sniffles and like a scratchy throat. I'm like, oh, here it is. I was like, do you want to take a test? She goes, nope. If I don't test, I don't have COVID. And I'm like,
very Trump-esque.
Very Trump-esque.
Welcome to
I'm raising a
Florida.
little Republican.
Yeah, look at you. Your parents would be so proud.
But she doesn't have COVID. But she's she was nervous. She didn't want to miss school. She said, Dad, I don't want to be one of those losers that missed the first day of school. And I'm like, I missed the first day of school 1 year. But
exactly.
Yeah, that's what she doesn't.
How do you think she learned?
Yeah.
Losers missed the first day.
Right. So we had open house yesterday. It was meet the teacher, and Abby is in 6th grade. So this is the first experience in middle school.
Oh,
let me tell you, Mary, there was yesterday a lot of sweaty palms, tears, rage, anxiety, Axe body spray.
But how was Abby?
That was me.
I was going to say, how was Abby? Oh, God.
It's weird. I mean, this little girl that just did the happy first day of school dance in front of her kindergarten desk is now.
Did you get my medication?
School. Did you get my medication or not?
Yeah, I picked her up from preschool.
I know.
When she was like 3. Like, what happened?
I know. She broke up with her boyfriend today because she goes, I don't want it to be a distraction.
Yeah, man. Well, don't let him weigh her down. On to bigger and better things, man. She's got 8th graders. She can be what?
No, stop. She's trying to focus.
I thought bigger and better things was like goals, Mary. That's messed up.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, she's excited about school and she wants to do well because we told her if you get good grades, the world is yours. You can do whatever you want. You can go to Halloween Horror Nights. You can go to the theme parks on the weekends. Like you could do all this stuff. We're gonna get her voice lessons and dance lessons and all this cool stuff, but she's got to maintain her grades and all that. So she's really excited about that.
It's great.
So we're doing the thing around the school and we're there with Rachel's there, Abby's there, and then Abby's mom and her boyfriend are there. It was a whole entourage. So Abby definitely looked like the coolest kid in school. So we go and check out the gym and do the lockers and all that. And Rachel's like, well, you guys can come in here. There's nobody in here. And Justin and I were like, no, we're going to stay away from the ladies' locker room. Like we can't be going in there. So, we checked out the men's locker room and there's a TV in there. And I'm like,
Whoa.
okay, that's pretty cool. I'm like, what are you guys watching?
Yeah.
Like Infinity War, Endgame? What's going on? So we come out and we're comparing locker rooms. And I said, did you guys have a TV in yours? And they're like, no. And Abby's very concerned about like changing in front of other people. I'm like, it's really not a
it's
big
horrible.
deal. I mean, like,
No.
you know, you just
Speak for
change in front of
yourself.
other people. And then in the girls' locker room, they have pillow fights. Rachel stops and looks at me, glasses come down, and she goes, what the hell is wrong with you? And then I stayed a little quiet the rest of the time.
Why would you say that?
I thought it was funny. I thought
For
it was
who, Scott?
Clearly, no one.
No one. You. Just you.
Just me.
Audience
Sarah, you
of
got
one.
kids, right?
Sarah, you've got kids, right?
I'm not ready for that either. But I will tell you that a middle school girls' locker room is just as awful as any other
It's
place
so
in school for a
bad.
girl.
It's so bad. I don't miss those days.
They're mean.
They're girls are mean. Well, Zoe is starting high school this year.
Oh,
It's her first year of high school. Yeah. So she had her orientation a few days ago. And Lake Mary High School is really fancy. Like their cafeteria, they have like little mini restaurants in there. So they have like a pizza place, they have a coffee shop, they have like a just like different like it's like a mall food court almost. And so she was like all excited about that. But she was telling me the things that she needs, you know, to start high school. And she was like, oh, I need, you know, notebooks, this, that, this. And she gives me this sheet of paper and it's a consent form that I needed to get notarized. And I was like, oh man, what's this?
Notarized?
For a belly button piercing. Apparently you need that when you go into high school.
what do they do that in shop class? Is that like part of the curriculum?
She was like, I need this. I need to get this done. And I was like, what? Miss ma'am. So here's the thing. I'm not trying to yuck her yum, right? Like we learned that from our friend Erica Rivera. I'm not going to do that. But what? I don't know. Sarah, would you let your kids get their belly button pierced at 14 going into high school?
Absolutely not. Oh my God. You see Lewis behind me? He's like, hell no.
Okay, well, Mary, when did you get your belly button pierced?
I never got my belly button pierced.
All right, let's move on to someone cool. Sarah, how about you?
Wow.
Nope, not me.
No?
Look,
Nope,
so
never.
my sister got hers done and I wanted to get mine done. And my mom was like, you have to be 15. That's when your sister got hers done. I turned 15 and she still said no. I don't understand. She still said
I
no.
got mine at 27.
Did you?
Wanted to see how it felt. I was just curious how it felt.
You're just curious.
I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah.
Curious like a cat. Your friends call you Whiskers.
Call me much.
My daughter got hers, I don't know, 16, I think. I'm not even sure. She didn't ask me. She just said, hey, look what I got. I'm like, you suck.
I wish that's how it could happen.
Listen, here's my thing. I got like tattoos and stuff that I got when I was 18 that I wish I never got. So it's one of those things where I'm like,
yeah, you've got the
She
Auschwitz
got that
tattoo.
like
Okay, that's
week
different.
ago, Scott. She knew about that.
That's not even the one I'm talking about. But beside the point, I regret a couple of them. So I'm like, I don't want my kids to do that and regret doing something. I mean, those close up, but
Yeah, piercings, I don't like. I'm okay with that, and it's her body, right? Like at the end of the day, that's fine. But like, I don't know, man. She already looks way older than me, I guess. Like, you know, like
Is that
I
the
don't
problem?
know. No, I just have a hard time with her looking like a real adult and then getting a piercing too, because then she's gonna really look like an adult.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be around all
You're
these
in for-
like
you're
high
in for
school
a rude
boys and
awakening in high
stuff.
school, because all these things that you think that she's not going to do in high school, she is going to do in high
She's
school.
already so hyped up about the football game this weekend. Like she's so excited. She's got an
Just
outfit
keep her
picked
away
out.
from
Like
under those bleachers.
what?
What?
yeah, you should do that.
What about the bleachers? What about the bleachers?
Warn her about not going underneath the bleachers.
What happens
Just
under
Google
the
it.
bleachers?
Mary, when a boy and a girl in high school like each other a lot and they're all hyped up on teenage hormones, they hug really tight. And if they're not protected, 9 months later, there's a baby.
That does not happen.
That's what happens when you hug people in high school?
Not in my backyard.
My high school was super boring if that's the case.
There was a lot of hugging in Polk County. Boy, so much hugging. Let me tell you. Wow. Oh, God.
Scott, have you taken a pregnancy test? Because the last time I saw you, we hugged.
That's what the line on that little stick was that he sent us.
Pretty much in Polk County, you're like, okay, here's your baby and here's your diploma. Like, it all happens at the same time.
I don't know if they all get a diploma. Not everybody.
We have a high school in the area that has a daycare attached to it.
I love it. I love it.
I swear to God.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Crazy.
Wow.
get
Emily
on the
says, watch
podcast.
out for dugouts also.
There were some stories about dugouts at my high school.
You can threaten an umpire and, knock someone up. It's all good.
You know what the cool thing was, though? It was not the dugout, but like the one or two people that you heard that would just do it right in the middle of the baseball field.
Oh,
What?
yeah. With the sprinklers on, so you get the effect of the rain and stuff.
Yep.
Mary's losing her mind. Welcome to high school, Mary. You thought it was going to be all sunshines, rainbows, and you thought the worst thing that was going to happen to you was a belly button piercing.
That's literally what I thought was going to be the worst thing. And her buying a
No.
bunch of coffee instead of eating lunch. That's what I
That's
thought
not
would be the
what
worst.
she'll be buying. That's where I started in high school. I'm sorry. Listen, I lost a lot of brain cells in high school, all right? Just saying. And it wasn't buying coffee.
Oh my God. No.
I really thought when Mary read the list of the things that Zoe wanted for high school, it was going to include birth control. That's what I thought she was going to say. So when she said belly button piercing, I'm like, oh, Mary, that's cute. That's cute.
Stop. Not my beautiful baby. She is a baby.
That's what I thought too, Mary. That's what I thought too. Yeah. You think it's all innocent and they're all babies. Nope. You better make sure you've had that talk. Keep it untaboo.
No, we have
make sure
lots
that
of
there's-
talks. We're very
You're gonna
open.
want right next to the
about
menstruation
things.
station, you're going to want the other station. So
The
they
prevention convention? Like, I don't...
The prevention convention. I love
That's
it.
what we're
Prevention
about to
con.
have. God.
Prevention con. I could be at one of the tables signing
The pre-con?
stuff.
It's
The
a pre-con.
I
Here
like
we
it.
are. Oh
Yep.
my God. Help me.
They can take a look at me and see what not to do.
Oh my God.
Anyway. All right, let's take a call from the sophisticated gentleman. You guys ready for travels and tribulations?
Yes.
Always.
What shall it bring when the gentleman rings on travels and tribulations?
Hey there, Internet Squad. Batman here. Oh, sorry. Hey, Batman here. Sorry about that. I had a frog in my throat. I bet Chris would as well if there was a French person working at Sandpiper Vacations. Anyways, I followed the passageway from the Batcave last week, and now I'm here in Wayne Manor. And, oh look, there's the map to the item that I'm looking for. I guess this does fit the bill of a place that's has an incredible amount of wealth and treasures after all. Oh, look at that TV over there. Seems like maybe Bruce Wayne left it on. Let's see what he's been watching.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, I love this ad. It's a classic.
Our courteous and efficient staff is on call 24 hours a day to serve all your supernatural elimination needs.
We're ready to believe you.
Incidentally, that's actually Scott's least favorite phrase. See what the next ad on the TV is.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights?
No, actually, I didn't. At least with Game Master Ryan and I, we have zero rights when it comes to recording these segments. Help us, please.
The Constitution says you do, and so do I. I believe that until proven guilty, every man, woman, and child in this country is innocent.
Hey, that's great news for Mary when she's driving a car drunk, or when she's leaving her kids in different places, or when she's trying to beat up other kids at skating rinks, or killing hermit crabs, or... never mind, let's get back to the ad.
And that's why I fight for you, Albuquerque.
Better call Saul.
Jeez, I wish I'd known about that before I signed up to do that interview with that director from Pittsburgh.
Hi,
Hey, it's Fitz with Slap Chop. You're gonna be in a great mood all day because you're gonna be slapping your troubles away with the Slap Chop.
Scott's already slapping his troubles away with a little bit of Vaseline every day.
Now look, here's a potato. One slap, you got big chunks for stews. 2 slaps, home fries in a second. And look at this. When you add a mushroom, the more you do it, the finer it gets. You have to switch hitting blades.
That's perfect as Sarah decides to graduate to shrooms from, well, we don't need to discuss that.
You love salad, you hate making it. Take the stringy celery, take the carrots, salad. I love pizza too, but once in a while, get the veggies in. At least throw it on top of the pizza.
Oh, you'd better watch out, Chris. You're halfway to being a vegetable with your foot the way it is anyways.
You're gonna love my nuts.
Incidentally, Scott, can you please stop saying that to me? I just don't want to hear that anymore.
Watch this. You can do everything in the cover. It's so easy, one finger. Kids can do it.
That's the point where Scott really needs to stop listening. But there's another ad about to go on the TV. Oh gosh. All right, Scott. Before you listen to this ad, just want you to know, I did hear your apology last week. I appreciate it. I accept it. But this was created before I heard that apology, so just keep that in mind.
You think you trust Scott Maffei? Think again.
Scott Maffei came to my home and molested my dogs.
No man, woman, or child is safe when Scott Maffei is around.
Scott Maffei stole a cake pop from my 2-year-old and taught him a racial slur.
Obsession with the canine species knows no bounds.
Scott Maffei forced me to eat dog treats.
This isn't a new trend. It's been going on for decades.
Hey, listen quickly. This message is from the past. I got a confession that no one knows about. Scott Maffei killed JFK. He incriminated Monica Lewinsky. He was the one under that desk. Oh, I gotta go. They found me.
If you trust Scott, there will be disastrous consequences.
Hey, this is Dane from Big Beautiful Des. I have to be quiet because I don't want Scott to hear me. I'm in his basement right now. I've been really captive here since January 2022 when I was 17 years old. Please, he met me when I was 17. Please, just
So stay away from Scott Maffei today.
Stay away.
Scott Maffei gave me cancer. Secondhand smoke kills.
Well, anyways, with that ad being over, oh gosh, it sounds like someone else is in this house.
Wake up! It's Monday morning. It's Monday morning. We gotta listen to the Black Lincoln Collective podcast.
Yeah. Where's my phone?
Well, I'd better get out of here before I disrupt my favorite podcast, the Black Lincoln Collective podcast. But next week, I'm going to start using this map to try to find that object that can get the Amish away from chasing me. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I say this a lot, but I think that could have been the best one.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
I was actually crying.
Me too.
Stay away from Scott Maffei.
So Mary, here's the backstory because I know you didn't listen to last week's episode.
Oh, no, not at all. Yeah, you're right.
2 weeks ago, I forgot to mention Cases of Continuity, the Sophisticated Gentleman's new podcast. So his call was a soundbite of me saying I'm like an elephant, both in size and the fact that I never forget a goddamn thing. And I forgot to. So that's kind of the setup for that. Oh, that was amazing. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, we'll get an update from Chris and his Achilles.
Hey, everybody. Why don't you give the old Black Lincoln Collective podcast a listen? We're funny, we're fat, and we're here 24/7 at blcpodcast.com. Anytime you want to listen, anywhere, all your favorite podcast apps. Of course, we have a YouTube channel where you can stream live with the show. Check out our shorts. We're funnier the less you hear of us. That's been a Black Lincoln Collective podcast at blcpodcast.com.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The year grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF, as in no new friends, and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
If you'd like to hear all of our episodes, all of our past episodes, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links to all of our old episodes are there. If you didn't understand an inside joke or just wanted to re-listen to something, just check it out. It's nonewfriendspodcast.com, or you can check us out on all streaming platforms.
Hi, this is Eddie Deason. This is the No New Friends podcast. This is Mandark. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. So now that Mary has been traumatized with everything that her daughter's going to be doing over the next 4 years, let's move on to Chris and his trauma. Chris, you have an amazing shirt on. It says, oh, and if you'd like to see what we all look like when we're doing this podcast, you can join our clubhouse, become a friend with benefits, watch us record for as low as $2 a month. And you can also watch us record on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/NNF podcast. Just follow us. You'll get notifications. We're live every Wednesday starting around 8 o'clock and then again at about 9:45. So Chris has a shirt. It says, "Make my Achilles great again." So how is your Achilles doing today?
You know what's the craziest thing about this? Before we started the show, Scott was flabbergasted when I said that I can't walk. He thought I was walking around on this surgically, like this is a major injury.
If you would have really been Kobe, he would have been playing again.
No, I watched the whole documentary. The documentary took forever to get back, man. Watch the documentary. There's a whole documentary on the thing that I'm going through. All right. And you're just an uncultured swine. I think it is on Achilles ruptures.
There's a whole Greek god that had an issue with the same injury. Okay,
Achilles heel. Oh my, you're an idiot, Scott.
You uncultured swine.
You're an idiot.
Wow.
You're like always walking around.
Wow.
No, I've literally been in the spot that you're seeing, that all of the world is seeing on Twitch right now. I've been in this spot for 2 weeks now.
It's because
I've been just laying here.
Scott is not an athlete like you are, Chris.
Okay, so
if he was a real athlete, he would have already started physical therapy. He'd be walking right now. He'd be in a boot. He'd be in a boot.
You know what? I wish I could, but I listen to my medical professionals. I guess that's because I'm from New Jersey and not Florida.
Wow.
We listen to our medical professionals up here.
Our medical professionals here are Mary. So we listen to Mary.
White Claw and antidepressants, kids. Let's go. You should be fine. Put some tussin on it.
You know what? I don't think I did talk about how I tore my Achilles.
But have you tried fentanyl?
I did actually. It was really great. I'll tell you what. I was on. I'll talk about that in a second because I didn't talk about my post-surgery.
If you struggle with a fentanyl addiction, please check out my friend's podcast, Ashes to Awesome: The Rise from Recovery Out of Addiction. Continue, Chris.
Did I tell you what the footwear that I was wearing when I was playing basketball? Did I elaborate on that?
Were you wearing flip-flops? Please tell me you were wearing
flip-flops.
Crocs?
I was wearing Toms.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what Toms are. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I won't ever wear Toms again while playing basketball.
Okay.
Playing basketball
I don't think that is the footwear for basketball.
No, Chris, that is not the footwear of basketball players.
Now, I'll tell you what, these did have laces. They weren't the traditional Toms, slip-on Toms.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. They're like,
yeah. I'll tell you what, we just moved. I didn't wear any of my nicer shoes where I saw those from 2008. I was like, I'm just going to wear these today.
Slide them on. Slap those bad boys on.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's take it back because last week I was not here because I was high as anything on Percocet.
That's what I want to hear about.
Not recreationally. Not recreationally, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
It was, I do have some extras. So if anybody, if there are any buyers, no, I'm just kidding.
Wow. I mean, we do have to fund this bad boy. So for $40 a month. I'm just kidding.
All my dead fish are so high right now. They're down the toilet with all of them. So I did not.
Did the Percocet work? Because I'm thinking you should just switch to Vagisil.
Wow.
Listen, I could have a yeast infection in my boot that I haven't showered in the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure. Actually, Vagisil's not a bad idea. I probably could slip that down there, and it might clear up this. I smell horrible.
Let me know how that, like the consistency of that, because the next time I run out of lotion, you never know.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
It'll feel like the real thing.
Yeah, I'll send a detailed video review on it for you. So anyway, let's take it back to when I got my surgery. So I got my surgery a week ago on Monday. Monday, 2 days ago, a week ago. It was last Monday, right? Doctor said, listen, you got 2 weeks, lay down, foot elevated above your heart. I'm like, that sounds horrible.
So 3 inches.
So after the surgery, I don't remember this, but he said that since I did so well, because he said you can't even shower for 2
you got
weeks,
a lollipop.
That's a problem. 2 actually, and a sticker. And they thought I was a child.
Pick out of the treasure box.
Yeah, they brought up the treasure box. Like, sir, so they're like, that's a man, and they thought I didn't see. I saw.
And then they felt sorry for him, so he still got to pick out of the treasure box
That's
twice.
why I got 2 lollipops. Yeah. So
Lewis has a treasure box for Sarah at home, but it's for different things.
Jesus Christ.
We'll talk about that in After Dark. No.
I'm glad you went that direction. Treasure box could also be probably something else. So so after the surgery, he was like, you were a good boy, and you can get a shower every few days. So every few days, I treat myself to a shower. And when I say treat myself, I mean going through pure hell, showering with a waterproof cast on, sitting on a chair in the shower. And it's the most humiliating. Like, I feel embarrassed for myself when I'm sitting in the shower on a chair, taking a shower. You know how horrible it feels to sit on a chair naked? It is not a good feeling.
Oh, you got the huevos on the little stool. Just
it is not comfortable.
Oh, man.
Daisy the stripper just said, welcome to my world.
Not comfortable. So anyway, I get out of surgery last week, and first of all, I'm going into surgery, and they pump me up with fentanyl because they're like, this guy needs it. Like, this guy
you gotta calm down, man.
Yeah, this guy is a head case.
You can't be anxious if you're high as a friggin' kite, man.
They took my blood pressure, and they're like, looks like the high score for Pac-Man at 19.
Yeah, man, you're crushing it.
Yeah, we need to
like
put this guy on
200 over
ASAP.
110. Let's go.
So that's my highest score, actually. So so I get the fentanyl in me, and I'm feeling great. And so they bring me into the surgery.
And you're like, Achilles, what? I feel like
I was like, I think I'm fine now. I think I'm fixed.
I actually think you cured me.
I went. So I get into the surgery room. All I remember is complimenting on how beautiful the room was. It's like, oh, guys, like,
Mary did the same thing when Mary had her wisdom tooth taken out. She was looking up at these lights, and she goes, "It's a table for 2, and they're not lonely." With the lights, she would love the lights.
I looked at my own children like I had never seen children
You
before.
did. I have the video up on YouTube of Mary's post wisdom teeth thing, but I also thought that as of that moment, she loved hedgehogs. And so now for every like birthday or Christmas, I get her hedgehog stuff. She goes, God, I don't like hedgehogs. I was under the
But
influence.
But it's become a thing. Like my sister just had a baby and I bought her hedgehog pajamas. Because now it's a thing. Anyways, about Chris.
I'll never forget. You're sitting on the couch and the kids come home and they're like, Mom, and the look that you gave them was like, who are these people? You looked horrified, and then Zoe starts crying.
I patted one on the head, and I looked at Scott, and I was like, "Do you see these things? Like, do you see these small people? Like, they're so small."
Listen, I still have to get all my wisdom teeth taken out.
So can we come?
Yes, please. Please let us come. I will be your Uber driver. There will be a video.
Oh, don't let him come.
Like the sooner the better is what I was told. I have to get them taken out.
I don't know what they're. Hopefully, they'll give you whatever they gave me, because it wasn't until the next day that I was like, "What happened?"
They do. They took an X-ray a couple weeks ago, and one's laying flat sideways, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're going under for that." And I was like, "Great, that'll be fun."
Mary, you and me, we got to be there.
I hope so. Yeah, I'll be. Let me know. Anyways, Chris, didn't you have something happen? I don't know.
Oh, by the way, Emily, I made Emily mad. She is. I love how everyone wants to refer to a vagina as weak when we literally birth children out of it.
True.
Men can't even take a slight tap to their balls.
It's
Listen,
accurate.
if I got an epidural before a ball tap, I'd be fine.
Have you ever had a ball tap without an epidural?
Yeah, and it's horrible.
It's terrible.
And luckily, when you get the ball tap, they're nicely shaven balls. And your balls can be nicely shaven too. Just visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for a 20% discount. All right, continue, Chris.
So I get into the surgical room.
Sorry, back to Sarah's wisdom teeth. We can stream this on Twitch. This could be a whole
that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Continue. Sorry.
So and then I saw they have a TV. I was like, guys, take your time. It's a really nice TV. Like watch whatever you want. And so anyway, the most humiliating part is when I don't have the fentanyl on me like an hour before, and they tell me like take everything off and just put this gown on. Like you're operating on my foot. Why didn't we take everything off? Lucky I used Manscaped recently.
The nurse is like, wow, nicely shaven. You're like, and then
you're like, well, yes.
Off.
And then they explain. First of all, I don't know why they're going to explain to me what they're going to do to me when I'm asleep. Like just do it. Like I don't care. I just do it. Just fix me. Like, yeah. All right. So we're going to get you in there. We're going to put you to sleep. Then we're going to roll you over onto your stomach. Cause now I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like, okay, this thing's open in the back.
You get an anal probe too?
Yeah. That's what I was. So
only if you're lucky, dude.
Honestly, I don't know if this was a hallucination or not. Where they're rolling me over, I see Nick from Sandpiper on the left next to me. I have no idea if I was dreaming that or not.
Wishful thinking, Chris. Wishful thinking.
I tried to stay awake when I saw him there. I was like, okay. So
he's a gentle lover.
I woke up and they were like
poppers.
I'll tell you what. I actually woke up and they're like, yeah, you were very hard to put to sleep. I was like, that's funny because I remember going right to sleep. They go, oh, you did not. Like took you a lot of anesthesia. You would not go to sleep. So I was like,
because you're the size of an elephant. They have to up the dosage.
I did tell them like 40 pounds less than what I weighed when they asked me for the anesthesiologist came in. And I felt embarrassed. I was like, I don't know, 130. And he's like, oh, wow. It's like, you're a big 130. It's like, yeah, believe it or not. And I did say I was 6'2". So they probably.
And that is when Chris saw Mary at the psych ward.
So I wake up and all I remember is just I was like, the nurse comes in. I was like, wow, so that was a great nap. I was like, I'm gonna have to take you home with me tonight and have you administer this again tonight for when I go to sleep. and she laughed like awkwardly, and then she comes back in and I was like,
sure, kid.
I was like, is that doctor that killed Michael Jackson out of jail? Is he still? I was like, I'd love to contact him because I understand now. And everyone's laughing, and I didn't understand why because I was like being dead serious. And then when I started to come around, I was like, "Oh yeah, probably shouldn't have." Now they gave me this thing called a nerve block, which I couldn't feel anything from my knee down, which was super weird. So when you never mind, I'm not even gonna go.
Mary needs a nerve block just to talk to people.
It's true. Please, somebody figure that one out, or a lobotomy. I don't know.
So I come home and I feel great because I can't feel anything for 2 days really from this nerve block. And I was like just trying to tickle my feet for 2 days. I just couldn't feel them. And
Scott does the same thing. You just can't reach them.
So then he's like, start taking the Percocet tonight. He's like, sure, I'll start taking the Percocet. Haven't stopped. I'm addicted. They're amazing. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. I honestly have no idea how people can do Percocets for fun. They are the worst. First of all, you feel horrible. Second of all, it constipates you.
Yeah.
Like you can't go to the bathroom. I drank like gallons of prune juice and apple juice and coffee. I couldn't go. And then on top of it, the worst part about the surgery, the most annoying part about this whole injury is that it doesn't hurt. When it tore, it didn't hurt. When I had surgery on it, it still doesn't hurt. the most painful part of this, first of all, besides the spiraling depression of me not being able to walk and being stuck on a couch, the most painful part about this whole procedure was the hiccups. Laugh. Go ahead and laugh. Go ahead and laugh. Anesthesia?
They were a real thing. Those hiccups were real because when you were producing the 2 shows last week, I heard it.
They were
nonstop.
Vicious. They were vicious. And they're apparently like the anesthesia can mess with your diaphragm or the breathing tube or something like that. And I had hiccups on and off for 2 days. And when they were on, they'd be like an hour or 2 hours. And they were vicious. Like I was almost gagging when I was hiccuping. And I had so much, like I woke up and I felt like I ran a marathon with my throat.
I've done that before. I felt that way too. I understand.
Pause.
Yeah, Nick. No pause.
my throat and my chest was so numb. So not to get
Nick's
gross
like perfect time.
Not to get gross or anything, but listen, when you're trying to go to the bathroom and you're constipated, it's a journey. It is a battle. And now I'm sore from the hiccups. So listen, I wouldn't wish that on my, like, if it was like, if they were like, all right, Saddam Hussein, should he get the electric chair or should you give him the constipation and the hiccups? I said, just give him the electric chair. Just put him out of his misery. He doesn't deserve to go through constipation and hiccups. Like not even he deserves that. Yeah, probably not. So maybe he deserves it. Maybe he deserves it, but not as long as I had it for. Maybe 1 day of hiccups, vicious hiccups, but not 2 days. Definitely not 2 days. Like I would, there would this weird sensation in my stomach and I'd have to burp and the burp would bring on the hiccups. No. So I would feel that and I'd start like having a panic attack and I'd hold my breath for like 2 minutes and they'd still come. It was the worst thing in the world. If you or a loved one are suffering from post-surgical hiccups, you might be entitled to compensation. So, or
at least a Percocet or 2. I don't know.
You can reach out to the sophisticated gentleman.
As we learned, the gays have gills, so when they hold their breath for 2 minutes, they come too.
I don't even know how to respond.
There's nothing.
But yeah, so Scott, you uncultured, you ruptured Achilles, uncultured swine. I cannot walk, and I won't be able to walk for weeks. I literally just ordered an electric scooter for the cruise that I'm going on the day after my post-op appointment, which is super stressful. Nick from Sandpiper got me a stool for my shower, so I will have a nice little stool for the shower. I was worried about that. I'm like, how am I going to shower? I'm going to like shower on my knees. I guess that wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially if never mind.
It's not that bad.
Nick was like, what's wrong with that?
Mary's like, I shower on my knees all the time.
So Sarah, we'll talk after. I'm gonna have to have some tips to get be more comfortable. Maybe
relax
like a gardening
jaw.
pad or something.
Open the jaw, relax the throat, man.
So yeah, Nick was gracious enough to get me a stool for my shower. Handicap rooms are all unavailable, which I can't believe that many handicaps are going on cruises. First of all, I think some of these non-handicappers are taking these rooms because they are bigger rooms. Nick was telling me they got nice balconies for the wheelchairs. I'm gonna knock on every handicap door and be like, hey, got any handicaps in here? Because I'm gonna drive up my electric scooter. You mind if I take a little tour of the room?
Can I take a spin? Let me look.
I'm just gonna go right outside the door and just do the little beeping on my electric scooter, and I'm just gonna check it out. Just gonna check it out. I'm going to use like handicap stalls. And oh man, I'm just thinking about all this. This is gonna be horrible. This is horrible. Can you get a DUI on an electric scooter? Because I will get one. If
it's in international waters, it's free game.
Just listen. Learn from Mary when she drinks and drives. Just pump up that Sarah McLachlan. You'll be fine.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I will just have a Bluetooth speaker on me at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Daytona Beach looks like.
All the excursions I booked are now null and void. I can't kayak because can't fit in a kayak with this boot.
Well, you couldn't fit in the kayak before the surgery.
Got the extra large kayaks, you asshole. And
isn't that a pontoon?
It was a canoe. Okay, I had to get the canoe. All right. Walking tour of Albert. Hilarious. Yeah, walking tour. The hike to the top of the mountain.
Listen, you're better off not going to tops of mountains because you've fallen down them, fallen up them. Emily's fallen down them. I don't know that you and mountains do well.
Yeah, I guess
mountain people.
Is the best.
I mean,
as long as you don't wear Toms, you'd be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Wow.
that's the update with my Achilles. I have one again, which is great. I
That's
do have
cool.
two. I do have two again.
You had 3 technically, right? Because it's like snapped in half. So you had like
Oh, I did have 3 at one point.
Yeah,
They
it's
just
like
weren't
2
intact.
separate. Yeah,
I shouldn't have got it repaired. Actually, that would have been cool. I wouldn't be able to walk, but I was like, hey,
I got 3.
party. Yeah, be a nice little party trip. Like, hey,
yeah. Look at my leg. It just
3
hangs here.
Achilles tendons.
Does nothing. It's great.
So one day I will be able to walk again, Scott. It's just not right now. Maybe in a couple months.
Go to church and go to one of those healers where pushes you down. You'll be able to walk again just fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's how it works, but I will try.
You're like our own little tiny Tim.
You are like our own little Tiny Tim. If Tiny Tim weighed 400 anyway. All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, Jersey Man, Florida Man, and Mary embarrassed herself again.
Yeah, he's like whiny Tim.
Whiny Tim. There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Psst. Hey, you want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to nonewfriendspodcast.com and hit join our clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
Hi, this is Bruce Valanche, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Unless they look like Matt LeBlanc in the early days, he could be my friend.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. As always, if you listen to us on Spotify, Apple, anything that you can leave us a review, leave us a 5-star rating and review. We love that kind of stuff. It really helps us out. You guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Always.
Maybe like 5 minutes, Scott.
Always.
Oh, maybe in 5 minutes.
I just want to see what would happen.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to determine which one is which. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom, located this week at a flea market. The whole gang got together to find some collectibles. What's that sound? Oh, that's Sarah breaking up a full set of collectible drinking glasses. She really does love the hunt. Oh, there's Scott. His wife must have gave him his allowance this week. Little surprised Scott's even here. I know he's been sick. Apparently, Scott lost his sense of taste to COVID. He prefers the Indiana Jones stunt show to the Festival of the Lion King. No taste. I don't really know what Scott is looking for. I didn't think he collected anything but child support payments and restraining orders. Well, there's Lewis wanting to buy a Star Wars action figure, but he needs to find Sarah because he has no idea how much money he has. She keeps it a secret. Here comes old knee scooter Chris. This injury does give him another excuse for the next 40 pounds of weight gain. He's doing his thing and trying to talk an old lady into selling him a Pokemon card for next to nothing. I don't know how he sleeps at night after ripping people off like that. I'm pretty sure it's on the couch, and before too long it'll be with a CPAP machine if he doesn't get his weight under control. Oh, it looks like Nick found a book from his favorite author, Charles Dickens. Nick is always saying how he always finds time to slip some Dickens before bed. Well, it looks like Lewis found Sarah. She's over there trying to buy a plastic plant for $0.25. She knows she's not allowed to have plastic plants anymore after she got sick trying to smoke the last one. Anyways, while I try to find my way out of this sea of Beanie Babies, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. And for our first story, a man drowns at a bachelor party after playing the Who Can Stay Underwater the Longest game. And for our second story, after a man is arrested, he claims himself to be Thor and tries to stab a police officer.
All right. Sarah, what do you think? You've got drowning bachelor party and Thor.
I'm just going to wing it here and say the bachelor party was in Florida. I have no reason.
All right, Mary?
I'm going to go opposite because I feel like most people who live in Florida, they have to know how to swim, right? Like you just have to. There's so much water. So I'll say that
you would think so.
Thor was in Florida, bachelor party, Jersey, I think.
All right, Chris?
We don't have bachelor parties in New Jersey. There's nowhere to go. So I'm going to go bachelor party, Florida. Thor sounds like it could be a heroin thing. There's a lot of heroin's very big in New Jersey. I'm serious. Heroin's very big in New Jersey. So I think that it could have been drug related.
Okay.
Because wait, if we get seriously, who thinks they're Thor and doesn't have a hammer? You know what I mean? Who thinks they're Thor and has a knife? You have to be right. You have to be,
true.
Not
Here's
sober.
the key thing in this. Stabbing, New Jersey.
See? I don't even think about that.
I'm going to say the Thor the
Wait,
Stabber
so
is in New Jersey.
am I the only one?
I'm dumb to that.
You're solo. You're
Oh,
solo on this one.
okay. Wow.
You're just like Han.
There's a lot of
All
stakes
right.
on this.
Let's find out the answers.
So our first story is from New Jersey, where a 23-year-old man drowns at a bachelor party while playing Who Could Stay Under the Water the Longest with 15 other guys. I guess technically he won. If too bad Nick wasn't at this party, he would definitely win that contest. As I recently learned, gays have gills. Maybe it's only in a hot tub. So that means our second story is from Florida, where a 41-year-old man high on Flocka fights police, calls himself Thor, and has sex with a tree. Tests are still out to find out if the saplings are his. And in other news, a wife burst open husband's testicles by smashing them with wedding photo album after she catches him cheating.
Oh,
Typical woman, always busting your balls with a mistake you made in the past. Anyways, that's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Oh my God.
Nice job, Ryan.
I love when Ryan texts and is like, sorry guys, not going to be good this week.
I know.
Oh, that's how you know it's fire.
I know. I worry when he says it is going to be good.
The problem is he was here last week and did a lot of his jokes during Cliff's Notes. So he was concerned that, he didn't have any other material. But Ryan, dead on as always. Nice job.
That was really good.
So Mary, what happened? You taught orientation or something?
No, listen. I hate when people expect a lot out of me, because I like to underpromise and overdeliver.
Give them my number and they'll lower their expectations.
So picture
Just kidding,
it.
love you.
Lake Mary, 2023. My school asked me to come work like an open house thing where they have like new students come in, like family, like it's just like a welcome type of thing. And I'm the president of the Student Nursing Association. So obviously they want, I'm like, there's like a national estate and like a whatever level. It's fine. But so I'm there and I'm like, hello. I didn't know what my role was there. I thought I was just going to be out front, like waving. I don't know. But they really had me doing stuff. And that was a problem for me because I wasn't prepared to actually interact with people. I was ready to just like wave and be like, hi, welcome. Hello, open a door. I don't know, kiss a baby. I don't know, like I didn't know.
Well, and I'm sure that there were probably cardboard cutouts, and we know how Mary is with cardboard cutouts. You got to keep her away.
I didn't know what to do. So they put me at this thing called an anatomage table. So it's like a really high-tech like anatomy table that you like, instead of doing real dissecting, we use these tables that literally like you can slice away layers of a human on this table. Like it's like real intense, right? which I love. It's real cool, but I didn't know I was going to have to talk about it in front of people, like a lot of people, a lot of times. And so every time I would try to like say something, it always came out jumbled. So I was like, look, we can cut her open right here. Look at that dead baby. I said that one time.
What?
Yes. Like there was a lady there's a cadaver that's loaded in there that's pregnant. And I was like, look at that dead baby. Like I said that. And I didn't mean it like that. It just came out.
Oh my God.
I know. Look. And I was like, and then usually like you can look at a heartbeat, but that's not real because they're dead. Like I would like, and I don't know why I would say these things because I was just.
Why do they put you in situations like this?
I don't know. It gets worse. It gets worse.
Do they not listen to this podcast?
No, they shouldn't. I hope they don't. Because
they should, so that they stop putting you in. You should not be the face of the university.
It should be the face, not the voice.
Welcome day.
The face, not the voice. Because look, it gets worse. It gets worse. So there's a bunch of cadavers loaded in here into like the thing, right? And there's different, and I know them from like just taking courses and knowing the different. And one of them is a prisoner. You know them
like this is Bob.
I know like
Jenny.
I know their backstories and like a lot of their like pathophysiology. Like I know how these people died, a lot of them. And so like I'll show people different things. Like one dude had a tumor in his brain stem. But another fun fact about this particular chap is he only had one nut. And that is not appropriate, I guess, to show people, but I did. I was like,
what is wrong with you?
I don't know, man.
But was that nut cleanly shaven? Because if it wasn't, he should have been using the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped. Just visit their website, use promo code NNF for 20% off your purchase. That's manscaped.com.
Well, I did try to make the joke that they couldn't bust his balls. He actually died in prison from lethal injection, but I was like, they couldn't bust his balls, and there he just has one. Like, just like... Not good jokes.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
so wait, he didn't die of the brain tumor. He died from lethal injection.
Yeah, he died from lethal injection. He had a real thick neck too. He had a lot going on. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. It gets worse from there, right? So there's different.
This can't get worse. Come on.
Look, it does. It does. So the way they do these open houses, like people move around in rotations. There's different like stops. And I was half of a stop. Like there was like a technology stop where people saw the table I was showing and then like a e-hospital thing. And then they moved along. And so the director of my program was like, hey, Mary, help me round people up because we have a mannequin that they use for like OB that she gives birth. Like she has a baby, like she gives birth and it's really high tech and crazy. So I'm like, oh wow. Yeah. Let me help round people up so they can all gather round. And her name is Victoria.
Oh God.
So I go into the physical therapy room where there's people and I was like, hi, Dr. So-and-so. I was like, hey, if anybody's interested, Victoria's giving birth. Like, so if you want to come watch, like right now, it's about to happen. And this lady just like looked at me like, what? And I was like, yeah, she's about to give birth right now. Like, come on down here. And she's like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, like 2 doors down, Victoria's going to give birth. Like, you can come watch. And she was like, wait, really? And I was like, yeah, she's going to, I should have said the mannequin. Like, she thought a real person was, like, gonna give birth. And I was like, what are you not understanding? 2 doors down, go to the lab. She's right there. Like, spread eagle, drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Like, there's a baby's gonna come out. Like, go watch. And she was like, oh my God, I was like, yeah, the mannequin, like, and she was like, oh my God. I was like, what? You guys do that here? And so then I was like, all right, I got to lead better the next room I go into. Didn't lead any better. I walked in with, the mannequin's going to have a baby. Let's go. That's it. That's what I said. And so they all just looked at me like I was crazy. Anyways, the mannequin had the baby. It was great. Everybody was really excited. I'm never invited back to an open house again. It's fine. Anyways, what else is going on with you guys? I'm not embarrassed at all.
You need to definitely have your university listen to this podcast to hear how bad you are when it comes to social
I just get nervous, man. I don't know. I mean, crap. I don't know.
You're like female Raj Koothrappali from Big Bang Theory.
It's accurate.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I saw my psychiatrist in the psych ward yesterday. That was cool. I was like, hey man, I'm here working, I swear. It's fine.
Chris, you got any cliff notes?
I do.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day. Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
All right, so to start this off, Scott was teaching his daughter how important it is to be good at grades. So she has a bright future, has a good career, is able to make a lot of money. Maybe she too will grow up to be like her dad and marry someone wealthy. That's a pretty good future. I guess that's how he did it.
Yeah, it really doesn't work anymore when I tell my kids, like, stay in school. You don't want to be a restaurant manager. And they're like, yeah, but look at this house.
It's your mother's house. So we were not a joke. This is not a joke, but I do think it's funny that the first thing Scott wanted to do was check out the middle school locker rooms. I did find that funny. He's like, yeah, and we started to compare them, and okay. I didn't know whether to laugh or not during that. So I guess it's really something that he was interested in.
Yeah, but then I made it worse and talked about the pillow fights.
That was pretty bad. I really didn't feel like I felt bad laughing during that.
Yes.
So we, went on to start talking about having sex on baseball fields, and Scott immediately said, "Yeah, like while the sprinklers are going off." Scott prefers it that way because that's the only way he can guarantee his wife getting wet. Now Scott had COVID last week. Don't know if anybody noticed that. So
nobody cared.
So he had an off week because of it. I guess that's why he led the first segment with high schoolers having sex, so that he could get back on his feet with something he was comfortable with.
She was 18, man.
You guys rate these jokes for me. Scott said he lost his taste because of COVID. I thought COVID started in 2020. Scott, what year did you propose to your wife and she agreed to marry you? Figured that was probably the year that, people were losing their taste in things. I don't know if it was COVID. Jersey man versus Florida man. Ryan said a man had sex with a tree. Now, upon learning that you could have sex with a tree, Scott just texted his wife and asked if they can get a pet tree.
We don't have enough house plants, babe.
Mary told us she's president of the student nurses. Elections there are held right after the fentanyl demonstration.
My votes are very high.
As president of the Nurses Association, she unfortunately is known to say things that she shouldn't say in front of crowds of people. Mary, sounds like you're fit to be president. And lastly, Mary alerted people that someone who appeared pregnant was about to give birth. Now, to her classmates' dismay, they could not. It was a mannequin. It's okay. Scott's had the same thing happen to him on several occasions. And those are my cliff notes.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Wonderful. Thank you.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day. The Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
Hey, this is Alex from Diz His, along with
Chris from the No New... Wait, what is this an ad for?
This is an ad for Diz His on No New Friends.
Oh my gosh, I'm so out of place. So, yeah, we're on a Disney podcast, right, Alex?
Yeah, you and me now. We're doing a Disney podcast, Disney History, every week. On Tuesdays, it drops. Social media is Diz His Pod.
Yeah, if you ever need cleansing of the obscurities that you hear on this show, check us out on Diz His Podcast, where we do something way more innocent.
And if you love Alex's segment, which is me, my history segment, then you'll love our full episode of Disney History.
Yeah, if you want a big load of Alex, listen to the Diz His Podcast. You're going to love it. A little bit of me, a lot of Alex. It's like half and half, but a lot of Alex. A lot of Alex.
Whoa. There's a lot of you too. You also give up a big load yourself.
That's fair. Before we get to go, what's coming up on Diz His, I want to tell you guys what's coming on. Wait. Wait a second. Let me rephrase this. I don't know why it's always on my mind when I talk about Nick from Sandpiper Vacations. This week, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I tore my Achilles tendon.
No shit.
And I'm going on a cruise next week. I think it's next week. It's coming up quickly, I'll tell you that much. I am now handicapped. Not only mentally now, but physically. So they don't have a lot of sympathy for mentally handicapped on these cruises because there's really not a lot of accommodations. But for the physically handicapped, there's like accommodations. So I call up Royal Caribbean or I message them or whatever, and they're like, "Oh no, you have to go through your booking agent." I was like, "That's great because he's more than capable." So I shot him a text. I was like, "Hey, I need accommodations," and he took care of everything for me. Now, at first, he was confused. I said I needed something to sit on in the shower while taking a shower. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I can't stand, so I need something. He's like, I have no idea what you could use. I said, okay, imagine we're having sex in the shower. Someone needs to sit down. He's like, oh, okay, I could definitely hook you up with something like that. So now I'm going to have that right in my room for me when I'm doing that. So if you want someone to be as accommodating as Nick is, not only on vacations, but on vacations especially, reach out to Nick at sandpipervacations.com. Tell him the No New Friends podcast said he's going to hook you up, man. Sometimes you do have to break it down with him in layman's terms. So, not a shower chair, a sex shower chair. Then he'll understand what you're talking about. Guess what? He's going to get it for you. Which is awesome because then I don't have to go through all the hassle of calling and being on hold and this and that. And he did it all for me. Screw you, Nick. You were probably on hold for like 45 minutes and I wasn't this week. So you're getting paid to do it. I'm not. But that's the beauty of booking through a travel agent. If you haven't booked through a travel agent, you wouldn't know. And if you don't want to know what it's like to be on hold for 45 minutes, you should book through a travel agent. You should book through sandpipervacations.com. Now, segueing away from a sexual story to a wholesome story, this week on Diz His, we are going to do the history on the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. I think.
I heard they had subwoofers underneath the cups.
I was listening to Remy's Roundtable, and I think I heard that as well.
Women apparently love them.
We're doing the that's about it. We're just doing the history on that ride. Very interesting history as always because we have an interesting podcast, man. Why would you ever doubt it? You're saying like last week. You're saying, "Oh, I'm sure you were going to get to the the trash can in Tomorrowland." Now we're doing the teacups, bitch.
Which is it's the second worst ride on Disney property.
It's a horrible ride.
Yeah, the first one being Mission Space, which is pretty much the teacups with an enclosed area. I did go see Festival of the Lion King. Everybody's been hyping that up. I've never seen that show before. Way overhyped.
Well, yeah, because you hate black people.
That's not true, Chris. That is not true. Not true.
Yeah, just listen to the Black Lincoln Collective.
All right. So you can check out Diz His, all social media. That's Diz His Pod. Check them out. We've got us on Wednesday nights after dark. That's our second episode of the week, hosted by Chris, and Nick from Sandpiper Vacations is the star of that show. We also have some other great podcasts we want to talk to you about. We want to tell you about Black Lincoln Collective Podcast, where Matt and his buddy, they talk about a lot of random stuff, and it's really, really funny. We've got Cases of Continuity, which is a sophisticated gentleman in his podcast where he's taking us through right now the Bond series. Don't Wreck Yourself, where Ryan takes us through the internet and what's wrecking the internet, and he debunks things. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, we've got From Ashes to Awesome. Chuck LaFlange is going to bring you through his journey from the struggles of addiction into the rise of recovery. Chris, what podcast do you like to tell us about?
So first of all, I'd like to introduce our audience to the Studio 21, the baseball podcast. Guess what, Scott? It's about baseball. So if you like baseball, you should listen to it. If you don't, then I probably still listen to it because maybe you'll like baseball after you listen to it. Then I'd like to listen to the Podfather himself, Remy's Roundtable. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Remy has the best, and it's just getting better, especially since Scott left. I'm just kidding. Scott, your episode was great last week, and your Scott summaries were very funny.
Thank you.
I wish the audio wasn't as choppy so I could hear them better. And lastly, head over to YouTube, go check out our friend, my lover, Dane from Big Beautiful Diz, who has a Disney themed YouTube channel. He just did a Pixar iceberg. And if you don't know what that is, you should educate yourself with it because it's a really, really great video. And it taught me a lot about like really obscure theories about Pixar, which were really interesting.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Now, I would turn it over to Mary to have her tell us about a mental health moment. But clearly, if you remember the episode, Our Two Dads, Dane knows a hell of a lot more about Mary's dad than Mary does. So we're going to hear from Dane about what's happening with a mental health moment.
Hey, this is Dane from Big Beautiful Diz, and since Mary doesn't know her dad as well as I do, let's talk about a mental health moment with Dr. Ed Samaro. So a quick recap of episode 1, Sleep, that was posted on December 3rd, 2020. Dr. Ed Samaro goes over how to get good sleep, and he goes over some tips for good sleep. And let me tell you, I've done these tips, and they've definitely helped. And, I mean, it's just amazing. Now, Mary has been getting terrible sleep because she hasn't been listening to her dad's podcast. Anyway, a mental health moment is actually not available on Spotify anymore. Not that Mary would know that. It's available on Amazon Music if you would like to go check it out. And please do. And that's what's happening on a mental health moment with Dr. Ed Samaro.
Oh my God. Thank you very much, Dane.
Oh my gosh.
Dane, I told you that was going to be funny.
Oh
my God. That was great.
And Sarah, what's coming up on Nerd Archive? Look at your sticky note.
They I got it right here. They had Ryan on this week. All right. They talked about the Deadpool 3 that's coming out, as well as the Ahsoka show that's coming out. And they talked about their favorite Disney movies. I had a lot to chime in over chat, but I think they were ignoring me. So it's fine. It's fine. But it's a great episode.
Awesome. Check out all those amazing podcasts. Don't forget to check us out on Wednesday night. We've got a couple of interviews coming up in the next couple of weeks that I've been hanging on to. And yeah, if you'd like to connect with us, all of our social media links, they're right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. You can check out our sweet merchandise, join our clubhouse, become a friend with benefits, and you can watch us record these things live. You can also watch us record these things live on Twitch every Wednesday night. That's www.twitch.tv/NNF podcast. On behalf of the sophisticated gentleman, Game Master Ryan, Dane, Alex, Sarah, Mary, Chris, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.